Today on 21st Century Television. Join us as we explore innovative technologies, cutting-edge solutions, and timely discussions from leaders across the globe. Featuring guest host Donald Trump Jr. This is 21st Century Television.
IRS wage levies, bank levies, and audits are common and frequently result in lost wages and high stress for individuals and businesses. Here to discuss how her company ethically and expertly solves clients' tax issues is Kathy Hill, owner and president of Tax Tiger. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, Don. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you. Kathy, what are some of the main challenges that individuals and small businesses face that force them to seek out your services?
Not having enough taxes paid during the year, resulting at the end of the year in tax liability, resulting in catastrophic wage and bank levies, which is scary and stressful and causes the taxpayer to live in fear of the IRS and have a lot of sleepless nights.
Kathy, how does Tax Tiger stand out and operate differently than other tax resolution services?
The tax resolution industry has had a bad reputation for years of greed, dishonesty, and defrauding the public. My story is a David and Goliath story. 12 years ago, we decided to face off against the giants in the industry using our slingshot of integrity, honesty, and spectacular results. Back then, there were three big multi-million-dollar firms that were defrauding the public, and the respective states and the attorney generals shut them down, and today they're out of business, while Tax Tiger has steadily climbed to the very top. And what sets us apart from almost all of the others in the industry is we do a free consultation to anybody that calls us to determine what we can do to help them. We deliver the most spectacular, phenomenal results available that almost no other company can match. I don't think any other company can match what we do in the results of settling $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 of IRS debt, Don, for less than $100, $20, $50. That's pretty spectacular. And finally, we have an expert staff of attorneys and specialists that get the job done right.
Since being founded in 2002, Tax Tiger has saved their clients more than $30 million in back taxes, penalties, and interest.
When I first set a meeting with them, they made time for me, they sat down, they talked to me, they gave me a straight answer about what needed to happen, and my settlement ended up settling for about $700 on a $96,000 debt, and I'm absolutely thrilled.
I managed to take a $40,000 debt to the IRS and turn it into a $20 settlement.
They don't take no for an answer. They don't back down with the IRS. It relieved me from the stress, the anxiety. It gave me freedom again.
And my compromise came to $1,452. Thank you, Jesus, for Kathy and her wonderful and magnificent company. They are full of integrity. They worked with me. Now I don't have that pressure. I can put a little money in the bank. So sign up with Kathy and company.
Kathy, what drove you to start a tax representation business?
Well, 20 years ago, I happened to work for one of those big three firms that I talked about a minute ago, and I heard the complaints, and I saw people losing thousands of dollars and getting no representation and not getting their problem resolved. And that broke my heart, and I couldn't be a part of that. So one day my husband suggested that we start our own tax resolution company, one that would stand head and shoulders above all the rest, be an example of excellence, and make a difference in people's lives. And in that moment, Tax Tiger was born.
So I have to ask, is there a story behind the name?
There is. We chose the name Tax Tiger because the tiger image personifies aggressiveness with the IRS. It shows the clients that we're not afraid of the IRS, because they're a fearful agency. We're not afraid of them. We don't lay down for them. We don't take no for an answer. And we fight tooth and nail to get the best possible result that we can possibly get for them. Because people need a tiger on their side.
Is Tax Tiger a member of the Better Business Bureau?
We are, and we've had an A+ rating since day one, all these years. Our credibility, our 12-year track record of credibility is stellar. Leading me to a really neat event that happened. I got a letter in the mail just last month from a tax resolution attorney who I don't know, never heard of, who wrote me a letter to state that he was impressed with Tax Tiger and the unique difference that we've brought to the table. So people are taking notice all over the country.
Do you offer free consultations for when people are perhaps shopping around for tax representation?
We do. We offer a totally free consultation to anybody that calls so that we can determine what service that we can provide for them.
Can you give us a couple examples of a Tax Tiger success story?
I have a lot of examples of Tax Tiger success stories, but the one that comes to my mind the most is a man who called us a few years ago at that very moment, Don, ready to take his life. He had a gun, he was going to take his life because he owed the IRS $129,000 and had no way to repay it. And he didn't know that there was any way to get out from under that. And his ex-wife, he called his ex-wife to tell her he was going to take his life. And she said, "No, don't. Let me find you some help." She did her homework and came up with Tax Tiger. We settled that man's IRS debt of $129,000 for $50.
It's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Not a bad ex-wife either. Some ex-wives might say, go ahead, you know, what's the big deal?
She was definitely a help to him.
Kathy, tell us a little bit about Tax Tiger's franchise opportunities.
This is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to own their own business, make a difference in people's lives, and have a meaningful aspect in the business world today. I'm looking for franchise owners that share my principles, my philosophies of integrity, and ones that will have a little bit of business knowledge that can be able to run a business. I have currently 5 franchises. My own office is in Sacramento, California. I have one in San Diego. I have one in Austin, Texas. I have one in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I have one in Denver, Colorado. All of these franchises are doing a spectacular, awesome job of producing the same kind of stellar results that I've been talking about today.
Well, lastly, Kathy, I understand you have a book. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I did. I wrote a book this year entitled, Is God's Hand on Your Business? I'm a Christian and I run a faith-based company, Don, and with that, I believe in Christian principles, those of, like I've mentioned, honesty and integrity, and some others that I believe has caused God's favor to be all over my business and propelling me to the top of the industry over the years. So I decided to put that down in paper, really to help other business owners who are struggling today, trying to make ends meet, that maybe God's favor would be a little bit more on their business too.
That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Kathy, it was great to have you on the show. I look forward to seeing more about Tax Tiger in the future.
It was my pleasure, and thank you again.
For 21st Century Television, I'm Donald Trump Jr. Thanks for watching.